Book 5, Deuteronomy. So far, we have read about how God created a populace through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and how they went to Egypt. They stayed there as slaves for 400 years until God heard the cry of Israel, and remembering his promise with their forefathers, led them out of Egypt under the leadership of Moses. They traveled through the desert and reached the border of the promised land. Moses sent 12 spies to reconnoiter the land, but they feared the people living there. So God became angry and told the people that no one at the age of 20 or over would enter the promised land. Because of this, they spent 40 years wandering the desert. During this time, all the people over the age of 20 passed away, and a new generation was born. In Deuteronomy, Moses explains God's power to the new generation who had not yet witnessed the Lord's deeds. The Israelites wandered around the desert for 40 years until the Lord commanded them to go into the territory of the descendants of Esau. The Israelites passed along Moab and Ammon until they reached Heshbon. Moses sent a messenger to the king of Heshbon, Sihon, asking for permission to pass through their land, just as the descendants of Esau had let them previously. But Sihon refused to let them pass through because the Lord had made him stubborn in mind and obstinate in heart. So Moses commanded Israel to attack, and Israel defeated Sihon and all his people, and seized all his cities, and doomed them all, leaving no survivors. The land that they had conquered was split between the tribes of Israel, and the women and children were left in the towns that they had conquered. The Lord allowed Moses to see the promised land, but not to enter it. Joshua was to be the one to lead the Israelites to the promised land. Moses announced the 12 commandments he had received from the Lord in front of all the Israelites, for there were some who had not yet heard of it. God called Moses and gave to him the commandments, statutes, and decrees, and told him to teach to the children, so that all generations may fear the Lord and keep his statutes and commandments. The Lord commanded the Israelites to go out and destroy the pagans, tearing down their altars and places of worship. As a reward for their obedience, the Lord promised to keep with them the covenant which he had given their forefathers. He promised to bless the Israelites above all people, and also to remove all sickness from them. The Lord told them that they would consume all nations which the Lord would deliver them. Moses told the people to keep the commandments of the Lord by following his will and fearing him, so that in their prosperity they would not grow arrogant and forget the Lord. For if they did, the Lord would punish them like with the other nations. The people of the tribe of Levi were to have no share in the heritage of Israel, for the Lord himself would be their heritage. The Lord put into place various precepts regarding slaves, marriages, cleanliness, prayer, acceptance into the community, and justice, equity, and charity. Obedience was rewarded with many blessings, and disobedience with curses. After Moses had spoken all that he needed to say, he called Joshua and appointed him as the leader. The Lord promised to be with Joshua, and the law that Moses had written was placed in the Ark of the Covenant. Then Moses blessed each of the tribes before finally passing away. Praise the Lord.